Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and children of all ages. Yesterday we touched base on wearing a suit for a job interview. Yes, it is fundamental, and as I said yesterday, if you want someone to take you serious, you have to take yourself serious first. But today, what we're going to do is it's going to be maybe a little lengthy, but I want you to stick with me because I want to show you some things about preparing for the interview. Some people, you've never been through an interview, never had one. So, again, as I said, and if you've been going through interviews and you feel like you're just not getting the proper attention, something's happening, what's up, let me answer some questions for you. If you have any questions, of course, you guys can always leave questions in the comments, and I will do my best to answer each one as much as possible. And as this channel grows, some messages will be buried, but as I said, as I would do everything that I can to answer all of your questions. The important thing, though, is if you pay attention to a lot of my videos, some of your questions could be answered through them. So, the first thing we want to do, we're going to take it to the computer over here, because I want to show you guys hands-on on what I do when I'm looking for work. And this is a basic thing. This could be done with Indeed, Monster, Craigslist. Today we're going to use Craigslist because it's very basic. So you guys stick around and let's do this. So right here, let's go online to Craigslist, and these are all the jobs that are listed, different categories. I am food, beverage, hospitality mainly. I've looked into other fields, but this is my main puppy right here. So this is Norfolk, Virginia, or the Norfolk, Virginia area. Right now we're going to find the business. Let's see who's hiring. This is just a normal person waking up in the morning. Remember, early bird gets the worm. Early bird gets the worm. You have to be up and at 'em. The majority of jobs that post are normally around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. When it comes to restaurants, you got to follow the trend of other businesses because other businesses post at certain times. But the majority of all businesses normally, around 8, 9, those times are the times when they are going to try to get whoever's up to put in applications. So let's say hiring bartender, server, cook. That's more if you have the skills to do front of house and back of house when it comes specifically for a restaurant, and when it comes to an office, if you do different things like administration, design, Microsoft Office, Excel, you always want to look for who has more to offer as far as a position. So here is hiring bartender, servers, and cooks at Giorgio's Bistro. Giorgio's Bistro. I hope I said that right. So here we go. A popular restaurant is hiring for experienced bartender, servers, and cooks. Please call and set up an interview. You must be reliable, energetic, and have the desire for superior customer service. Call between 11 and 5. Sometimes they'll say send an email, send a resume, and we'll talk about resumes soon. But now they're just saying, let's say you're interested, it's near your location. Let's look here on the map. It's right here in your location. It's like, wow, I live right here, and this would be a perfect opportunity. And all I want to do is have a full-time job. I want to be reliable, and I want a company to be reliable as well. Because remember, it's not only about the company needing you to be reliable. You have to respect yourself enough, like I said yesterday, to hold companies accountable to be just as reliable when it comes to them taking care of you. Because it's a team effort, a win-win for everyone. So, let's say you call between 11 and 5. Let's study the location. Well, we just spoke about studying the location, and that's right next to you. So, you have a decent 5-10 minute ride depending on, where you're at. And if you have a vehicle, I would say if it's in this center location and you're located here, I would give it about, you don't want to be on time. When you're on time, you're late. When you're on time for an interview, you're already late. Note that, please. and I'll explain that later. I've spoke about this before. So if you live here and the location is right there, dot in the center, give yourself time. You want to be 15 to 20 minutes there before your interview, right? And you want to give yourself about 15 to 20 minutes just to get there. Doesn't matter if you think it's 5 minutes, and doesn't matter if you know it's 5 minutes. Give yourself a nice fresh head start. This way you're clear-minded. You don't have the last thing you want to do in a job interview. You're already nervous. I still get nervous when it comes to pitching an offer. If I need to get interviewed, it shakes your nerves. Not to say that you're scared, but you build anticipation for it. But the last thing you want to do is be late for your interview. It's silly. It doesn't make any sense, because now you're going to put yourself under pressure, and the owner, manager, the one hiring, they're going to look at your integrity and your punctuality, and they're just going to say, you know what, just trust me on this one. You want to be early. It's better to be early. You're not going to look like a suck up. You're not going to look like a kiss booty person. Just trust me what I'm saying. Make sure you're there 15 minutes to 20 minutes earlier, and make sure you give yourself an extra 20 minutes. So let's just say 40 minutes. You should be leaving your house 40 minutes before the interview. And even if you want to sit in the parking lot and just look around and survey the area, do that. Just make sure you're there early. You found the business. Now you studied the location. You know the times it takes to get there, right? Now, when you're here, normally you will see a name, but it doesn't say a name. In my opinion, I don't want to have an opinion on this, actually. So we'll just leave it at that. You just call. Well, actually, no, let me backtrack. Normally it has a name, but when you call, obviously they're going to say, when you come in, make sure you ask for Jim, let's say. Okay, so remember Jim. Don't forget Jim. Don't forget Jim's name. Once they told you a name, it's best not to forget it. And if it's written on here, you better not forget it, because it's on paper. Just like the address. You don't call and say, hey, what's your address again? Too much technology for that, man. Knock that off immediately. Use Google Maps or whatever. So remember the names, study the routes, and prepare for transportation. And show up early. Check out environment. Oh, that's the part I wanted to talk about, showing up early as well. Study your environment. Maybe you're not going to be comfortable around there. If it's a late night shift and you're a female, or someone that's not able to defend themselves physically, period. Doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. And, the late night shift, normally in restaurants here in Virginia, for a restaurant bar, for this type of place, it looks like they close around 11. Mostly when it says bar, you'll be there till about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And maybe you don't feel comfortable with the surroundings there. Don't put yourself in a position. Sometimes you have to, but sometimes you also have a choice. Make sure you study your environment. When you're sitting in there waiting for the owner, manager, whoever is hiring you to come up to you and start the interview, make sure you're just comfortable around the environment as well. Study, see what's going on. They have a menu. Let's go check out their menu. You need to prepare for your interview. Let's see. They have a menu here. Okay. All right. So, at least you get to see their menu. So this is their menu. It looks like they took it from their phone and just posted it, which is not a big deal. I mean, it all depends if you want to go big or go home. And, you got to study the competition around you. But right here, it looks pretty pricey. I'm assuming with the price, the food had better be good, because even for sandwiches, that's pretty pricey. But, we're in a different world, different economy right now. And people need to survive. This could have been updated. These menus look fairly new, unless they took the pictures when the menus were first printed. But no, it looks like they changed some stuff here. So anyway, study the menu. Let them know. Hey, what are you good at cooking? If you're a cook, what are you good at cooking? Well, I see you have grilled red and black Argentina sausage. I really specialize in that. If you cook it this way, etc., etc. You have to let them know. You have to let them know what you're skilled at. You have to build interest in them. Have a conversation. I've been on a lot of interviews purposely. I'm not gonna lie. If you're looking at this video right now, I've purposely went out on interviews just to get a feel when I was writing my book, just to get a feel of what the atmosphere is with managers. The majority of you managers are so you have your head so far you're behind, And I'm not going to be specific with anyone, but it's a real thing. Managers, they have a position and they feel like, oh, you need me. I don't need you. I don't need to work for you. In some cases, you won't have a choice where you have to take a job because you're limited and you have a prior history, whatever the case is. But for someone like myself and many others like myself, I don't need to work for you. All right, we're going to work together. I need to perform so you can produce and make money, and I get paid to do it. And what I'm worth and my value, that's where the negotiation table takes place. The negotiations at the table take place, and we'll talk about that another time. But getting ready for the interview. So now you're here with the menu. You know the menu, let's say. You're ready to go inside, and or you're ready for the business owner to approach you, and the hiring manager and or the hiring manager. Sometimes they tag team. But this is when you'll be prepared for your interview. You found a business that you potentially want to work at. You studied the location to make sure that you're there on time. You remembered names, everyone by name. That's super, super important. All right. You studied the routes to prepare the transportation, and you showed up early and checked out the environment. Right? So now you have to get ready for the interview. I promise you, once again, study the environment, make sure that you're comfortable to work in that position. You may see something like a manager talking out of place to an employee. You may see an employee talking out of place to another coworker, and the manager doesn't say anything. That's a bad sign for business, because now you already exposed your weaknesses, and I'm not sure if I'm interested in dealing with the drama. These things are important because you have to be happy where you work. You have to be confident that you're going to perform. You have to be confident that you're going to be treated equally and fairly. So heed these suggestions. I promise you, if you take my suggestions and you actually practice it, right, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't put it in a headlock and make it drink it, because it's just not going to happen. A horse, try it. I have a few next door, and they're huge. They're like, no way. So always remember, keep a calm, cool head. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. We are going to address the actual interview and what to do, what to say, how to conduct yourself. And I will see you tomorrow. You guys take care. Good night.
All aboard!